Did I really just spend so much money on a hair dryer? Hi, welcome to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. So I bought my Dyson Airwrap 2 years ago. I decided the day I bought it that I want to do annual videos on how I feel about the Airwrap. This product cost somewhere around 50,000 rupees. I've made several videos on the Airwrap on my channel and I'll include them in this video. This is a pure comprehensive deep dive into the Dyson Airwrap. Now I'll explain why I wanted to do this after 2 years. It's because when you buy a hair tool for this much money, I would have liked to see when I bought the Airwrap the experiences of people who've had it for multiple years. Like, has it held up well? Has the quality gone down? Is it not worth it anymore? Is it not as powerful as it used to be? Do I regret buying it? I think these are very important questions to kind of discuss when it comes to such expensive hot tools, because I honestly don't believe this should be normalized that, well, whoops, we just spent 50,000 bucks on a hair product, let's forget about it and move on to the next. Maybe you're someone who has this appliance at home and you regret buying it, you don't think it's worth it for you, and you've not been able to get the results that you were expecting. So I'm hoping this video helps because I will cover everything. I have my notes all prepared, so we are ready to go. So I'll start with the first point on my list, and that is the topic of paid partnerships and sponsorships. On my channel, I've repeated this like over and over again that everything that I review is stuff that I've bought with my own money. I don't receive any sponsorships or anything of the sort because I'm a very small channel. Whenever you type Dyson Airwrap on the internet, whether it's Instagram or YouTube, a lot of content that at least the content that I see, includes this title paid partnership. More often than not, the Dyson Airwrap has been gifted to the content creator. Now, I'm not saying that just because something's sponsored or a product has been gifted to someone, that necessarily means that the review is going to be biased. Nothing of the sort. I do know for a fact that there are many influencers who are very honest and forthcoming about their reviews and they can be very objective, but my personal experience with product reviews has been underwhelming, especially when it comes to the Dyson Airwrap. I accidentally deleted some footage, so here I am. I think what I'm trying to say is that lately, everything feels like an ad. Like, it feels like everything I see online is an advertisement. And I do struggle to see transparency with product reviews. I think what I'm trying to say is that lately, everything feels like an ad. Like, everything feels like an advertisement, something that's been paid for. And I really do miss the good old days of YouTube and Instagram when people used to just post content for the sake of it. This is a personal opinion, but lately everything feels like a marketing campaign. Like, I'm not saying that this is the case with like every single review or every single reel that you see out there. With a product as expensive as the Dyson Airwrap, I feel like having access to actual consumer experiences is very important. I know I've taken a lot of time on this gifted sponsorship part. I thought it was necessary to preface my video with this topic. So I got my Airwrap back in 2023, and this is the 2022 version of the Dyson Airwrap. So, and there have been a lot of new models that Dyson came out with recently. Some attachments differ, but more or less the machine's still the same. It may be like slightly more powerful now, but by and large, in general, the functionality remains the same. Now let's talk about the different attachments that come with the Airwrap, because that's essentially what makes this machine so different and famous as compared to other hot tools. So the first attachment that it comes with is the blow dry attachment. This may look different for different models, but every Dyson Airwrap comes with its own blow dry attachment. Like, it's a blow dry attachment. What's so special about it? But trust me, this is one of the most important attachments in my opinion, because I've been using this product for so long that I kind of got used to how powerful this attachment is and I started taking it for granted. One day I didn't have my Dyson Airwrap on me, so I made do with a normal blow dryer, a regular blow dryer. I was immediately shocked to kind of see how different those two experiences were, because this attachment dries my hair so quickly. And if you've seen any of my routines, any of my videos, You know how important it is to kind of blow dry your roots first before going in with the rest of the attachments, because if your roots are wet, the style won't hold. It's very important to have dry roots before using anything else. So this attachment I think is wonderful. It's very strong. I can only imagine that the regular Dyson blow dryer is even more powerful than this one. The one that I have, it comes with this feature where you can kind of twist the top, and this can function double up as a flyaway attachment. Moving on to attachment number 2, this is a paddle brush attachment. The Dyson Airwrap that I have comes with 2 such paddle attachments. I use both paddle brush attachments interchangeably, like they seem to be the same thing for me. So whenever I'm traveling, I just tend to stick to one. This brush is more suitable for people with fine straight hair. If you're someone who has hair that tends to be straight but can get poofy, this attachment is perfect for you. It'll be perfect. Like, I use this on people with a very flat fine hair, and it takes literally 2 minutes to smooth out any frizz, dry your hair. If you have textured hair or slightly coarse hair, like my hair is textured, I have curly hair. If you have like wavy curly hair, this is not the best attachment, if I'm being very honest. It won't smooth out your hair. Like, you'll still have frizz, but I still do use it like all the time as my first attachment. I just try to get my hair to be like slightly straight before going in with other attachments, because it's very fast, very quick. A great attachment to have, very powerful, but I would say it's catered more towards people with fine straight. Attachment number 3, this one is a favorite, and it's the round brush. I know that they have bigger sizes in their round brushes now, but I just have the standard round brush shape, which seems to work fine for me. I don't really need the bigger one because I can get a tighter curl. This is an amazing attachment, especially for someone with very coarse, thick, wavy, textured, curly hair. This is the attachment that gets my hair to be as smooth as possible before I curl it, before I do anything to it. One of my most used attachments out of all, one of the best round brush attachments that I've ever used out of all the heat tools I've used in my life. Quite well suited for anyone with my hair texture. Now we move on to the 4th attachment, and this is the curling barrel attachment. One of the most distinguishable features of the Dyson Airwrap. I think they were the first ones to kind of engineer that Quanda effect, wherein your hair will physically wrap itself around the airflow. This is, in my opinion, a very misunderstood hair tool, because it's not a curling iron. This attachment will not give you very tight curls like you would expect from a curling iron. I keep arguing that the Airwrap is essentially a blow dryer. What this does very well is it gives you that slight flick in your hair, this beautiful beveled shape. Sometimes I'm too tired to achieve that with the round brush attachment. That's where this curling barrel comes in handy. My Airwrap came with 2 sizes. I have the bigger one here. This is the one I use most often. This attachment will curl your hair in no time. Once I got the hang of it, I was able to curl my hair like within 5-6 minutes. It's that quick. So this is one of my most used attachments. I have so many videos on how I use it. I can use it as a regular curling iron, or I like to use this for my hair rollers. I genuinely feel like this is a standout attachment, and it's really changed the way I blow dry my hair and heat style my hair in general. So yes, this is the bigger barrel. I love it. And then the last attachment that doesn't really come with the Dyson Airwrap, but it is an attachment that I bought separately, is the diffuser attachment. This is compatible with Dyson Airwraps. This is like the first diffuser I ever bought in my life, so I didn't really know what to expect. Based on what this product is solely on its own, brilliant. This cuts down on my dry time like drastically when I'm curling my hair. It doesn't blast air into my hair. I was honestly very skeptical that it'll burn my scalp, but it's a very sophisticated diffuser. I really enjoy using it. And now that I've kind of explained what the different attachments do, I would also like to mention that this machine is very powerful. I mentioned this across all the different attachments. Whenever I use the Airwrap, I feel like my hair is in good hands, and it's so strong. It's able to dry my hair like so quick. Let's talk about another important factor, and that's wear and tear and just the kind of condition that my Dyson Airwrap is in. This is the main component. This is where I attach my attachments. I mean, I've tried to take good care of it. Haven't mishandled it per se, but I haven't been very gentle either. But considering how expensive it is, I've tried to take good care of it. But over the 2 years, I've noticed that there isn't really anything concerning about the Airwrap. Like, the color hasn't faded on the machine. If you handle it carefully, I think it should be fine. It's made of plastic, but it does feel heavy and high quality for sure. I mean, and that's to be expected for this price point. And if you always keep it in a travel pouch, a travel case, I don't think you'll have to worry. So in terms of wear and tear, I think it's held up pretty well. So now we've come to the most important element of the Dyson Airwrap, and that's heat damage. Dyson as a company, I mean, their biggest pitch for positioning this sort of expensive, obscenely expensive blow dryer in a market where you can get other heat tools for a fraction of the cost is this bold claim that the Dyson Airwrap is more gentle on your hair and it causes less heat damage. Now, how do you evaluate that? You can only do that over time. As someone who uses this product like regularly on a weekly basis, I feel like I have some authority when it comes to the topic. Yes, it does cause less heat damage. Now, there are a lot of professionals, a lot of hair experts, and a lot of influencers I follow on YouTube who would disagree with me. A lot of people argue that you could buy another blow dry brush and use it at the minimum speed, like the lowest speed, let's say 180 degrees Celsius, which is what I believe the Dyson Airwrap functions at. And that's true, you could do that. I've used several hot tools, whether it's the Revlon one-step styler and so many other products. When I start using these tools, they tend to get hotter and hotter and hotter the more I use them. So let's say it takes me 30 to 40 minutes to get my whole head styled. These tools just keep increasing in temperature, and sometimes they get so hot that it becomes difficult to hold them. And while I'm working on my hair, I can sense the kind of damage that they're causing to my hair. The Airwrap is able to maintain and regulate its temperature very consistently, and I think this is one of the most important considerations to factor in when you're thinking of heat tools. Whenever I use the Airwrap, my hair just looks healthier. Like, there is no other way to kind of describe it. For some time, I stopped using the Airwrap and I went back to using a curling iron or other heat tools, and I noticed like a significant difference. This is an up close and personal on my hair. It looks so shiny and healthy whenever I use the Airwrap. The products you use while blow drying your hair also matter. So for today's video, I shampooed my hair with the Oribe Gold Lust shampoo and conditioner. Then I used the Kerastase Gloss Absolute Anti-Frizz Glaze Milk as my heat protectant. Then I used the Olaplex No. 7 Bonding Oil. I'll try to use some oil to smooth out my hair. And if I use the same products across different heat appliances, and I feel like my hair looks its absolute best with the Airwrap. So in terms of heat damage, for sure, this product was worth it for me. And there is another factor that I would like to point out, that sometimes with heat tools, it's not just a matter of how hot they are or how expensive or inexpensive they are. It also depends on how you use them. So if you notice, hair salons don't really use Dyson Airwraps now, do they? I've never seen any hair salon using a Dyson Airwrap. They mostly use professional blow dryers, like a traditional blow dryer with a round brush. Salon specialists are trained professionals. They know how to handle these tools, the angle at which you need to keep your blow dryer and the round brush in order to get beautiful sleek hair with minimal heat damage. So technique matters a lot. And if you use those hot brushes, like hot blow dryers incorrectly, you run the risk of really damaging your hair. We are not salon specialists. Maybe someone's watching me and they are. I'm not. So I know for a fact that I need a hair tool that can kind of regulate heat on its own. Otherwise, I really do run the risk of damaging my hair. The next point in this discussion is, and that is humidity and dew points. My previous videos on the Airwrap, I've mentioned that humidity, your climate conditions, your weather really makes a difference, and it actually makes all the difference. This is the biggest complaint when it comes to the Airwrap, and this is why most users tend to get frustrated because the hairstyles just never last with the Airwrap. And this is something you really need to keep in mind if you're thinking of getting the Airwrap and spending all that money. Dew point is something you can figure out on your weather app on your phones, and certain climates, certain regions tend to have very dry air. Your hair's gonna look fantastic. You will have nothing to complain about. However, if you live in a humid environment, close to the sea, close to any of these places, anywhere where the humidity is high, the Airwrap has absolutely no chance of fighting with that climate condition. But I will say that I've used this machine in different parts of the country and across different seasons. So winter is like the perfect time to use the Airwrap. All the way from November to May, the Airwrap works flawlessly. It's only from June to September, October when the Airwrap kind of fails me, and that's when I pull out a hair straightener. But I will say that I've used this in coastal towns. Sometimes the weather's perfect and the style holds. But the good thing is that even if it's humid, my hair still looks very sophisticated and nice when I use the Airwrap, so it's not a complete waste. And it will give you more of a natural hair look. You won't look like you've just stepped out of a hair salon for sure, but that's something that I'm willing to live with. Climate conditions and your weather, I think, are very important considerations to keep in mind before you decide to buy the Airwrap. If you have hair texture like mine, I would really suggest getting rollers, Velcro rollers, and clips like these. I have several videos on how I use rollers. Rollers are really the best way to kind of get your hair to look amazing, bouncy, shiny. And I can honestly not use an Airwrap without using rollers, because hair rollers, Velcro rollers will bring out the best in the Airwrap, and my look will go from a 10 to 100 instantly. Another point that I would like to bring up is, what type of a person is the Airwrap for? Who is the perfect person for the Dyson Airwrap? This tool is perfect for someone who blow dries their hair very often. Like for someone like me, I know for a fact that I will be heat styling my hair. Even if I use a straightener or a curling iron, having the Airwrap on hand is very helpful because it's so powerful. It dries my hair very quickly. If you're someone who likes to air dry your hair all the time and you just want to use heat on your hair every month or 2 months or maybe twice in a month, I don't think this machine is worth it for you. Then you're better off with a regular blow dry brush or a curling iron. Now, the final point, my final opinions and thoughts. Is it worth it or not? And I'm going to be very honest here. For me, the Airwrap has been 100% worth it. I do remember when I got it, I had such severe buyer's remorse. I thought, oh my God, what have I done? Did I really just spend so much money on a hair dryer? And it has been 100% worth it for me. And because of all the points I mentioned, this tool ends up being so worthwhile. I use it all the time. It ended up becoming a very essential part of my life, to the point where I can't really travel without it. I have to take it with me wherever I go. It's been 2 years and I have never felt the need to buy anything else. I say this again and again. Watch as many videos as you can and see the type of hair looks people achieve with the Airwrap, and that will be a good guiding like reference for you to figure out whether it's a hair tool that you need or want, because it's not a straightener, it's not a curling iron, it's just a blow dryer, but a really good blow dryer. So there you go. These were my thoughts on the Dyson Airwrap after having owned it for 2 years. If you like these sort of unbiased, unsponsored, honest opinions and reviews, I would be very grateful if you'd consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. It goes a long way in helping me with the YouTube algorithm. And as always, I will see you very soon in the next one.